Back at it on a Tuesday, the 19th day of March, 2019. I'm Dan Kuntz. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, and this is the last full day of winter, 2019. And at the risk of editorializing on the weather, good riddance. Just a very strange winter. That's just no other way to put it. One of the oddest winters I can remember. The first day of winter, the winter solstice, back on December 21st, we set a record high temperature on that day. It was unseasonably warm for the rest of November and into January. We set record high temperatures a couple of times in the month of January. And then here came February, and February brought with it snow, lots of snow. We had more snow in February of this year than we've ever had in any previous February. Very cold temperatures, record low temperatures. The streak is over. We did it. After 47 consecutive days with our daily high temperature below normal, Monday's high 57 degrees, 2 degrees above normal. That streak has come to an end. The last time we hit 57 degrees in the Wenatchee Valley was back on November 6th. Do the math. That's 131 days ago. 131 days ago was the last time we were as warm as we were yesterday. And guess what? It's going to be a very pleasant week. High pressure ridge is large and in charge. It's not centered over the Wenatchee Valley or even over Washington State. It's actually over central British Columbia, this dome of high pressure that's keeping all the systems away from us. It's not really where we are, but it's so big and it's so strong that it's knocking everything out of alignment, and nothing's going to come down and pay us a visit. That's the good news. The bad news is it doesn't last forever. And believe it or not, over the weekend, we're going to cloud up, cool down, maybe even have a little bit of rain. Complete forecast details are coming up in just a little bit. You know what we do by now. We'll start out with our cameras around the valley here in just a couple of minutes, and then we'll do the weather forecast. Past report is really nothing to talk about, except they're going to be doing some avalanche control work later on today on Stevens Pass. I'll give you those details. We'll do the news. We'll do the sports. We'll preview Game 3 of the Wenatchee Wild Cowichan Valley Series, which is tonight in British Columbia. We'll talk about that when we get to sports. Also, the prep sports schedule. We have the obscure holiday of the day today in history, birthdays. Everybody is entitled to Mike McNally's opinion. And yesterday morning, Lyn Kelly from the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center came by to tape our conversation portion of this program to talk about a night at the museum. It's coming up this Saturday. It's a 3-hour party with gourmet food, gourmet wine, cider, entertainment. It's a party. It's the event of the weekend. Lyn Kelly will talk about that when we get to the conversation portion of this program in just a couple of minutes. Let's take you around the valley. Janet is in control this morning. Janet's pushing the buttons, and she says, let's see what's going on in Wenatchee Valley proper. And as you can see, the snow melt continues, and this is the good kind of snow melt to avoid flooding. There's no real flooding at all. Yes, the streams and the rivers are going to rise, but they're not anticipating any significant flooding in the Wenatchee Valley. The only thing that would really mess up that is if we have extremely warm temperatures and some rain. That would really cause problems. But right now, the snow is just gradually rescinding away, and that's just what we want to see so we don't have any flood problems. That's good news. Look at all the snow that's melted on Birch Mountain and even Badger Mountain for that matter. A lot of snow is going away. Of course, the north-facing slopes are the ones that will be last to lose the snow. There's still quite a bit of snow up and around the Saddle Rock area and up in the Stamil Basin and the Mission Ridge area because it doesn't get as much sun as these areas here. But boy, what a difference just a few days make. Good morning, Wenatchee Valley. Thanks for starting your day with us. Camera 2, where are we going, Janet? We're going out to Monument Hill. Am I correct on that? I am correct on that. I get the thumbs up on that. Look at that pink sunrise. Sunrise is right now, as a matter of fact. 7:05. Sunrise. We're on it. So there you go. Good morning, Monument Valley. Good morning, Quincy. Good to have you on board. And look at the snow just melting away. We should do a time lapse of that. That would be not such a bad idea. Camera 3 is Chelan Falls, I believe. The mighty Columbia. Columbia looks like a lake, doesn't it? Well, that's what happens when you dam it up. You know, it gets a lot slower. So a good shot of the Chelan Falls area. You can't quite make out the highway, but trust me, there's a couple of roadways down there. They haven't gone anywhere. Not a cloud in the sky either. Camera 4. It's off to Omi Gardens. And that's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. You can see the Wenatchee Heights area, the Stamil Basin and Jump Off Ridge. They still have quite a bit of snow, and they will have quite a bit of snow for still some time because the sun's rays don't quite smack along that area as much as it does in other places. So, but it's good to see the snow be gone. It's continuing to rescind. The spring equinox, by the way, is at 2:58 tomorrow afternoon. And hey, you know what happens when we do, whenever we have equinoxes or solstices? Bonnie Orr pays us a visit. Our local gardening expert, and Bonnie will be on this program live on Thursday morning, the first full day of spring. So that's our tour around the Wenatchee Valley with our high-definition cameras, courtesy of Localtel's Sky-Fi high-speed wireless network. Now, let's take a look at the forecast and get ready to smile. Da, 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 da. I'm digging that. 57 our forecast high today. That's just about what we hit yesterday. With the clear skies, it gets chilly. It's 34 outside of our studios. Yesterday's low of 30 was actually 5 degrees below normal. Yeah, we were actually below freezing. We should be done with that. The overnight lows are going to be above freezing, but lots of sunshine. It's going to be dry and mild. These afternoon high temperatures today, normal. Tomorrow, just about normal. A little bit warmer than normal. 60 degrees sounds awfully fine to me on Thursday. Friday, still some sunshine. Highs in the upper 50s. And then that high pressure dome that I talked about is going to start breaking down late Friday. And that means we start talking about a chance of precipitation. It happens Friday night. We'll start clouding up, and we could get some rain Friday night into early Saturday morning. About a 30 to 40% chance of that, with an overnight low around 40, and just in time for the weekend because we have all the sunshine and everybody wants to go out and do cool things in the sunshine. It ain't going to happen. It's going to be nice. I mean, temperature 52 is still cool, but it's going to be cloudy, and we could see some light rain. And then Sunday, back to partly sunny skies and a high of 51. Sometimes we just can't catch a break weather-wise. I mean, it's going to be gorgeous right through the work week, and then we get to the weekend, and it's time to goof off and do stuff, and they cloud us up, cool us down, and maybe give us a little bit of rain. Oh, well. What do you do? There's your forecast from the National Weather Service. Don't need to do a past report. Everything's fine. They're bare and dry or bare and wet across the board. No snow in the forecast. You're good to go. But I wanted to mention this. They're going to be doing some avalanche control work at 2 o'clock this afternoon on Stevens Pass. This is a heads up. 2 o'clock this afternoon on Stevens Pass. They're going to stop folks at about a 6 to 7 mile stretch right at the summit of Stevens Pass. Throw the charges into the mountain. Let the snow come down. Clean it up. And open up the traffic. It's always a hit and miss kind of thing. They don't know how much snow is going to come down when they do it. But at 2 o'clock, they're going to stop traffic on Stevens Pass. A minimum of about 30 minutes, they say, but it could take longer than that. And if it's going to take longer than, say, like an hour, they'll let us know, and we'll let you know. But heads up, Stevens Pass at the summit closed at 2 o'clock this afternoon for avalanche control work. It could take anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour or even 2 hours, depending entirely on how much snow comes down. It's 8 minutes after the hour. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we have your Tuesday morning headlines. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live this morning from Studio 42 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Live channel.
Hello, my name is Nathan Schreiber. I'm a physician here at CVCH. My specialty is family medicine, which is a pretty general specialty where I get to treat all walks of life. You know, newborns, children, women, adults, elderly, everything in between. I have additional training in osteopathic manipulative treatment, OMT for short, where I use my hands to diagnose and treat musculoskeletal conditions which are causing pain and inflammation. I look forward to meeting you and being a part of your healthcare.
For the first time in history, the world's greatest magicians come together live on stage. The Illusionists. This high-tech magic spectacular has shattered box office records and dazzled audiences of all ages across the globe. See them before they disappear. The Illusionists, live from Broadway.
We're back 10 minutes after the hour here on this Tuesday. We just dipped a couple of degrees. We're right at the 32-degree mark. We're right at freezing, but we're going to warm up to a nice pleasant high of 57, which is exactly what we hit yesterday with lots of sunshine for the rest of the week, work week. Anyway, here's what's making headlines. Brian C. Huber has been chosen by Governor Jay Inslee to replace retiring Douglas County Superior Court Judge John Hotchkiss. Huber has more than 2 decades of legal experience. He currently is a partner at Jeffers, Danielson, Son, and Aylward in Wenatchee. He focuses on issues from agricultural law and civil litigation to employment law, real estate, tribal law, In addition to his civil litigation practice, he also serves as a court-appointed arbiter in civil disputes. He's a longtime resident of East Wenatchee, Huber, long been involved in the area's Appalachie Riders Association, a nonprofit equestrian center that supports 4-H clubs, high school equestrian teams, and other horse-related activities. Judge Hoskis retires on the final day of this month. Well, Sunday, Monday were bump stock buyback days, I should say. At the Wenatchee headquarters of the Washington State Patrol, for $150, people could bring in their bump stocks, their devices used to make semi-automatic rifles fire more rapidly. On March 26th, they will be illegal throughout the United States. Trooper John Bryant of the Washington State Patrol told our very own Cal Fitzsimmons that business hasn't exactly been brisk.
Trooper Bryant, how has this been going so far here?
Well, yesterday was the first day statewide. Here in Wenatchee, we collected 10. Today, this morning, we've collected 5 so far, so we got a total of 15. Today is the second day from 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock this afternoon here in Wenatchee. Next week, it'll be in Ellensburg, kind of spreading out the place where folks can go within the district. Again, it'll be Sunday 10 to 4 and then Monday 10 to 4. But any Washington resident can turn it in anywhere at any of the State Patrol authorized places statewide for today and next weekend.
And have there been fewer people than you expected? How many vouchers did you have available here?
I'm not quite sure the number of vouchers that we had available here, but it's kind of hard to tell the number of folks you're going to get. I think the numbers are probably kind of what they should be for here. Now, I know in other parts of the state, for example, in Tacoma area, they went through their vouchers really quick, and so they're probably going to get some of our vouchers that we don't use here because there's just a lot more people turning them in Tacoma. And it's $150,000 is the entire money put aside for it, and once that's burnt through, it's done. Based on the numbers I heard yesterday, 180, 185, and multiply that by 150. They were close to at the 1/3 point of the money yesterday. So we'll see what happens today and how much will be left over for the next weekend.
Okay, well, thank you for your time, Trooper Bryant, and this is Cal Fitzsimmons for NCW Life.
Thank you very much, Cal. A road rage incident on Highway 2 near Cashmere landed 25-year-old Tucker Mathewson of Bellingham in jail last week. Mathewson is accused of pointing a gun at 2 women in another vehicle. Trooper John Bryant of the Washington State Patrol said it's unclear what led to the incident.
Last Thursday, about 4:30 in the afternoon, State Patrol dispatch got a report of an individual driving a blue Kia Rio eastbound on State Route 2 near Kotlitz Avenue. The reporting party stated that the driver of the vehicle brandished a weapon and pointed it at them. Troopers went en route the area and they did stop the vehicle about 9 minutes later and talked to the driver of the vehicle and did find a loaded weapon, a handgun, in the vehicle. The driver of the vehicle was taken into custody and booked at the county jail for brandishing a weapon. This all occurred without incident. Everything turned out to be safe, but it's just one of those things that road rage incident that maybe just went too far.
Mathewson was charged with second-degree assault. Well, a Navy fighter jet had to make an emergency landing at the Grant County International Airport in Moses Lake last week after one of its crew members suffered hypoxia. That's a lack of oxygen. Port Facilities Director Rich Mueller said the EA-16 Growler remains at the airport.
When the crew did report in, it sounds like there were problems with the oxygen system, but I was actually looking out my window when they pulled in, and they got out of the plane just fine by themselves as they normally would, and were smiling and talking to the ambulance crew that met them there as a precaution. They were taken into the ambulance to be tested just to make sure they were okay. And they came out, again, all smiles, and buttoned up the airplane and went about their business. So fortunately, nobody sick or hurt. It's not quite as exciting, but we love it when an airplane just rolls in and taxis in and people get out and everybody's okay and everybody's happy.
Well, of course, Wednesday, tomorrow, is the first day of spring. The spring equinox, as a matter of fact, happens at 2:58 tomorrow afternoon, and folks are getting a jump start on spring cleaning. Definitely a busy time of the year for car wash businesses as motorists line up to clean off the winter road grime. This was the scene you see here at the Jet Pro Auto Wash on North Wenatchee Avenue. The bright sunshine and warmer temperatures also brings visitors to the parks. Our very own senior news correspondent Steve Hare caught up with a couple of folks enjoying the change in the weather.
Beautiful time of the year. Spring here in the Wenatchee Valley brings out a lot of folks here to the park at Riverside. I'm standing here just behind the Pybus Market, talking with Ed, who's visiting us here from Yakima.
Good to be here.
So, what brings you to Wenatchee from Yakima?
Well, came up to enjoy some Irish festivities.
Oh, yeah? Were you here for the parade yesterday?
Well, we didn't come down to the parade, but we've been here plenty times for that, and we wish kind of that Yakima would be doing something like that. We're twice as big as Wenatchee is, but somehow or another the people of this area just seem to have it together.
So you like Wenatchee?
I do. I really like this place a lot. Yeah.
Well, we have a question of the week that we're asking folks here at the park today, and we're the first day of spring being Wednesday. Folks are probably thinking about spring cleaning projects and such. But my question is, what is your cure for spring fever?
I think it's probably finding things to do daily now as the snow goes away to get out and rake those leaves that I didn't get raked last year.
So what's your cure for spring fever?
Get out and see if there are migrating birds in the area.
Oh, are there?
Yes, actually.
I see that all the geese are returning.
Yes, and the swallows I noticed on our way down.
And some robins too?
Oh yes, there were lots of robins that stayed throughout the winter too.
Okay. You know, springtime, we're all thinking about cleanup projects. Got any that you dread doing?
Yes, the backyard.
Yeah, me too.
Right.
I see you've got the same problem.
Yes, all the dogs.
Well, the snow hides it, you know.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Quite a mess.
Thanks a lot.
Another sure sign of spring is when the parking lot at Save Mart on North Wenatchee Avenue was transformed into a garden center. Steve Hare was there as well, watching them offload all the trees and the shrubs.
Your name?
Lyn Myers-Peterson.
Lyn Myers-Peterson. You're with Save Mart.
Yes.
And this is obviously really the first sign of spring in the Wenatchee Valley, isn't it?
This is it.
This is
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So what are you hearing out there on the street? You know, people that come drive by and they see this happening. What's the feeling?
They're all going to be pouring in here. They can't wait. Phone's already ringing off the hook.
It is?
It is, absolutely. We've had our first customers.
Is that right?
Yes, while we're trying to unload an 18-wheeler with 600 trees.
600 trees?
Yes.
Huh? Anything new this year?
Yes, lots of new stuff.
Once again, lots of sunshine today and a high of 57. We'll be kissing 60 degrees on Wednesday and Thursday. A little cooler Friday, lots of sunshine, and then we cloud up and maybe even have a little bit of rain and cool down on Saturday and Sunday. And by the way, Bonnie Orr will be on this show on Thursday to give you the do's and don'ts of spring gardening. Don't plant anything until you hear from Bonnie, all right? That'll be on Thursday. You don't have to wait that long for the news. It'll happen tonight. It happens every weeknight at 5, 6, and 10. The news with Grant Olson. Grant also will be tackling the weather forecast. Eric Grandstrom at the sports desk. The news at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock right here on this very television station. You can also watch it on our website at ncwlife.com. We live stream all the time, 24/7, 365. You can watch shows on demand if you want. We have archived our newscasts, this program, sports, special events. You can watch it whenever you want to. Just point and click and enjoy yourself. ncwlife.com. And you can also use our website to get a hold of us. Just hit the Contact Us icon in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. If you prefer email, and I do, it's news@ncwlife.com, news@ncwlife.com. You can go to our Twitter handle and say hi. You can go to our Facebook page and drop us a line. You can even pick up the telephone and give us a call if you so desire. All right, it is 19 minutes after the hour. We're going to take a break. When we come back, sports. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live this morning from Studio 2 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
Hello, and what is up? Welcome to Career Shift Business Edition. I've got 3 choices: certificate, associates, and bachelor's. I'm going associates. And I'm enrolled. Stay alert, this game was pretty fast. Whoa, exams almost did me in. I'm back on track and picking up speed. And I'm in the home stretch. Degree complete, and I'm ready to go to work. Charter helped me make that career shift. Your turn.
Corey here from Rose Tractor, your local Cub Cadet dealer. We've got the all-new Cub Cadet Ultima zero-turn mowers in stock, and they are awesome. The Ultima is like no other zero-turn you've seen. With a box tube frame and available Kawasaki engine, it has unmatched strength and performance, cutting up to 50% faster than lawn tractors. You have to see the Cub Cadet Ultima to believe it. Come on down and experience the Cub Cadet Ultima today.
Welcome back. 21 minutes after the hour. Let's talk sports. Game 3 of the Wenatchee Wilds playoff series with Cowichan Valley tonight at 7 o'clock. The best of 7 series tied at a game apiece. Of course, the Capitals won game 1 Friday, 3-2. Wild won game 2 Saturday, 6-3. Lifetime, Wenatchee is 3-0-1 playing at the Island Savings Center in Duncan, British Columbia. The Wild beat the Caps there earlier this season, 4-3 in overtime. They beat them back in October of 2017, also 4-3 in overtime. Wenatchee came out on top in January of 2017, 5-0. And the first time the Wild played at Cowichan Valley was back in December of 2015. That was their first year in the BCHL, and the game ended in a 2-2 tie in double overtime. Art Jecker will have the call on 560 KPQ throughout North Central Washington. You can see the game on hockeytv.com. It'll cost you a little bit of money, though. We'll have highlights, by the way, tomorrow morning right here. I'll Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Game 4 tomorrow night at 7. Game 5 back in Wenatchee Friday at 7. Well, the scheduled baseball game between Eastmont and Wenatchee at Historic Recreation Parks postponed, but there will be soccer right next door at Lee Bofta Field at the Apple Bowl. Wenatchee hosts West Valley Big 9 soccer at 7 o'clock. Eastmont's on the road. They'll take on Moses Lake also at 7. Also earlier in the day, Cashmere is at Okanagan. A 4:30 start there. On the prep baseball schedule, there you see it. Cashmere has a doubleheader at Royal. That begins at 3. Cascade travels to Ephrata, for a single game. On the JV field, by the way, at 4. And Waterville Mansfield is at Manson starting at 4:30. On the fast pitch diamonds today, Waterville Mansfield is at Manson, 4:30 start. 4:30 also the start time for Cascade at Ephrata. Wenatchee and Eastmont, they were supposed to play at Sterling Middle School, but field they're a long way from being able to play on that one, so that's been postponed to a later date. But they can play tennis. Apparently there's no snow on the courts. We like that. Eastmont's at West Valley at 3 o'clock. Cascade travels to Cashmere at 4. Let's talk baseball. The Mariners swept 2 games in the Tokyo Dome over the weekend against the Uramari Giants, including 6-5 on Sunday. Ichiro thrilling the capacity crowd earlier in the game. He displayed the cannon of an arm that he still possesses. Mitch Haniger's 2-run home run tied it in the 7th, and then backup catcher David Freitas broke the tie in the 8th. Pretty good. Meanwhile, back in Arizona, the Mariners have a split squad game against the Cubs today. Of course, they open the season Wednesday and Thursday in Tokyo against Oakland. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Tuesday morning. It's 24 minutes after the hour. It's time for the obscure holiday of the day today. Today is Let's Laugh Day. That's good enough for me. Laughter is good for you. Medical studies have proven it. Just a few minutes of laughter can reduce your blood pressure and increases your immunity. It boosts your heart rate. Watching or reading something funny right before you go to sleep actually helps people fall asleep faster, and you sleep longer, and you sleep better, and you can even burn calories by laughing. 10 to 15 minutes of laughing can burn up to 50 calories. Also, laughing a lot is just plain fun. People who laugh a lot have a tendency to be friendlier people, and I've noticed that anyway. And of course, there are any number of ways to celebrate this day, the Let's Laugh Day. Just laugh out loud for a few minutes, watch a funny movie, read a funny book, inhale some nitrous oxide, whatever it takes. Fun fact about laughing, though, children laugh more than adults. Why? I'm not surprised about this at all. The average toddler laughs about 400 times a day. The average adult laughs about 15 to 20 times a day. We can do better than that. Let's Laugh Day today. All right, today in history. 156 years ago today, March 19th, 1863, the SS Georgiana, there she is, the most powerful Confederate cruiser. It was custom designed and custom built in Scotland. And on its native voyage to be delivered to the Confederate States, didn't make it. Nope, ran right into the blockade at Charleston Harbor, and the Union vessels just shot it all to pieces, and eventually they got out of there. The crew of 14 survived. It only sank in like 14 feet of water, so they were able to get out and swim to shore, and they were captured, of course. Over $1 million worth of munitions, food, medicine, and merchandise were lost. Its maiden voyage, the Georgiana, sank right off the coast of Charleston Harbor on this date 156 years ago. And then exactly 102 years later, that guy found it. Yeah. His name is E. Lee Spence. He was a teenager at the time. Everybody knew it was there. Nobody bothered to check it out. So he just on his off hours went out there with the scuba gear and started swimming around, and he found it. He found about $15,000 worth of stuff, and he got to keep it. By the way, it's still there. In fact, the tallest part of the ship is only about 5 feet below the surface of the Atlantic Ocean. So a lot of people go out there and just swim around it. You don't even need scuba gear. All you got to do is take a deep breath and dive down and check it out yourself. So they found the Georgiana 102 years to the day after it sank. Today is the 53rd anniversary of one of the most significant basketball games of all time. Texas Western, now known as University of Texas at El Paso, became the first college basketball team to win the NCAA National Championship with an all-black starting lineup. The team they beat was the Kentucky Wildcats, which not only had an all-white starting lineup, they had an all-white team. History was made with Texas Western 53 years ago today. And this is the 40th anniversary of C-SPAN. Yep. The United States House of Representatives begins broadcasting its day-to-day business via the cable television network called C-SPAN. It made its debut 40 years ago today. There's the Speaker of the House at the time, Tip O'Neill. Since the Democrats were in control of the House of Representatives, whenever a Republican was speaking to a big empty chamber, and we see this all the time on C-SPAN, Tip O'Neill ordered the technicians to pan and scan the House chamber to let the folks know at home that the guy who's talking isn't really talking to anybody. There's nobody there. They're working on crossword puzzles and on their phone. And the Republicans were not happy about that. They said, that's not fair. And he goes, wait, when you get to be Speaker of the House, you can tell him what to shoot. Of course, when the Democrats spoke, they had a nice close-up, so you wouldn't know they were also speaking to a ginormous empty chamber of nothing, which is really kind of the way it is now, isn't it? C-SPAN is 40 years old today. Birthdays: Earl Warren, the most significant Chief Justice of the United States over the last 100 years, was born in this date in 1891. Every significant Supreme Court decision in the 1950s and 60s were part of the Warren Court's legacy. Of course, Brown v. Board of Education, Gideon v. Wainwright, Reynolds v. Sims, Times v. Sullivan, Miranda v. Arizona changed the course of American jurisprudence. Earl Warren was born in the state in 1891. Happy birthday to Bruce Willis. He's 64 years old today. Somebody should probably tell him. Of course, he burst onto the American scene co-starring with Sybil Shepherd in Moonlighting. And then he went on, of course, the Die Hard franchise, Pulp Fiction, The Sixth Sense. He's not a bad actor. He's almost completely, of course, limited himself now to the action-adventure genre. Bruce Willis is 64 years old today. And life is good for Clayton Kershaw, who, in my opinion, is the best pitcher in Major League Baseball right now. He's 31 years old. 7 times an All-Star, won the National League Most Valuable Player Award a couple of years ago. He's won 3 Cy Young Awards. He won the pitching Triple Crown. He's won Golden Gloves. He's led the National League in wins and ERA, strikeouts a bunch of times. He's 31 years old, And I'm glad I'm not in the National League and have to face that guy on a regular basis. Clayton Kershaw is 31 years old today. All right, we're going to take our bottom of the hour break. It's at the bottom of the hour. How's that for timing? When we come back, everyone is entitled to Mike McNally's opinion, and then my conversation with Lyn Kelly for the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center. The topic, a night at the museum. That's all coming up. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Hi, I'm Cordell Schroeder, owner of East Wenatchee Mobile Storage.
If you're thinking about making a move anytime soon, check out the East Wenatchee Mini Storage brand new mobile storage service. They drop it off at your location, you pack it, and they pick it up and store it in their protected warehouse at East Wenatchee for as long as you need. When you're ready, they'll drop it off at your new home or office. East Wenatchee Mini Storage is excited to offer this brand new service to our region.
Call 509-884-8643 or find us on the web at ewministorage.com.
The Cottage Inn has been a Wenatchee Valley landmark since 1940, making it one of the longest-running locally owned restaurants around. And it's better than ever. Steak, seafood, and their famous homemade desserts for dinner, wonderful lunch items, and breakfast on Sundays, all made from scratch and at an affordable price. It's no wonder the Cottage Inn has been so popular for over 75 years. Enjoy a fabulous meal today at the Cottage Inn on Easy Street in Old Station.
I'm working today.
I have got some work to do today.
Don't forget, I've got some work for you today.
Have a good first day at work, Mom.
Thanks.
Your donations to Goodwill fund job training programs right in our community.
New beginnings feel great, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Be a job creator. Goodwill. There's more behind the store.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you get 35 years of experience and customer service in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's friendly staff strongly believe in repairing before replacing and service all major brands of HVAC units. Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning is your local, independent, trained comfort specialists, proudly serving all of North Central Washington. Call 884-6444 today.
Are you suffering with joint pain? Need orthopedic care sooner than later? For an orthopedic evaluation, there's no reason to wait weeks or months. You can get the help you need now from the experts at Lake Chelan Community Hospital, led by John Hopkins-trained Dr. Joshua Shohowski. Their orthopedic team specializes in sports medicine, knees, shoulders, and general orthopedics. When considering joint replacement, you should know all your options. Call or visit Lake Chelan Community Hospital today.
Did you know that dental disease is the #1 illness affecting a pet's health? Bacteria from the mouth gets carried into your pet's blood and can affect the heart, lungs, and kidneys. By age 3, nearly 75% of pets have some form of dental disease. Dr. Shauna Bass and the staff at Paws and Claws Veterinary Hospital care about your pets, and good dental care can help your pet live a long and happy life. Learn how to clean your pet's teeth or see what Paws and Claws can do to keep your pet smiling by calling 888-PAWS or see us on the corner of 4th and Island, East Wenatchee.
This is Mad Dog McNally, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, I really made a decision as a mental health professional and for someone who provides treatment to domestic abuse perpetrators. I'm going to deal with issues of respectful relationships with the adolescent young men who come to me for counseling. Now, I'm going to do this with each one of them. I ask each one of them, what kind of man do you want to be? Someone who respects women and children, who treats them with care and consideration, or something else? Now, of course, they all say they want to be decent, good men, but honestly, we have to help our young men and boys to fully understand what it means to be a decent and respectful man in this society. Yes, we do. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Hi, I'm Clayton Walker, General Manager at Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Wenatchee, and I'd like to invite everyone to the dealership to see how easy it is to buy your next new or pre-owned vehicle at your local dealership.
And I'm Mick Fabian, General Sales Manager, and we currently have a huge selection of new and pre-owned vehicles on the lot to choose from, including the 2019 Motor Trend Truck and SUV of the Year.
So come on down to town and let us earn your business in 2019 at 1001 North Miller Street in Wenatchee.
On March 22nd, Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington presents the North Central Washington Guardianship Forum. This forum is designed for family members caring for individuals with diminished capacity, healthcare professionals working with the elderly, or other professionals who work with or represent individuals in guardianship. For pricing, registration, and continuing educational credits, contact the event organizer or Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington.
Choose the pros, Alignment Pros. When your vehicle needs brakes, shocks, struts, or alignment, choose the experts in their field. Alignment Pros and Express Lube with a 5-star rating. The work they perform on your vehicle is as impeccable as their shop. With state-of-the-art equipment, Alignment Pros can handle all large or small vehicles, specialty cars, lifted or lowered. Alignment Pros does them all. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube in East Wenatchee.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz. What are you doing this Saturday night? You want to spend a night at the museum? You can't spend the whole night. Security will come and throw you out. Plus, you'll probably set off the alarms. You can't be doing that. But between 6 and 9, you can hang around with a bunch of your best friends and drink some wine and eat some gourmet food and listen to some music. It's a huge fundraiser for the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center. She is no stranger to this program. It's Lyn Kelly from the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Doing good. I'm kind of worried about promoting this event on Saturday because usually it sells out. So are you like sold out, or are we just going to
We are
talk?
not sold out. There's still room to get in.
Okay, because you sent me this lovely card. Lyn sent me this card, and I'll see it about. Dan, it's a fun evening. Hope to see you there, Lyn. So that was very nice of you. It was very. How many people got this card?
More than 1,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
we cast a wide net this year. With a new director, a new development director, it's the time.
Yeah, it is the time. What people go, what is the Night at the Museum? Lyn Kelly, what is the Night at the Museum?
Night at the Museum is a unique opportunity for you to see all of the museum and all of the various alcohol and food vendors that we have. We'll have 4 different bands there. And it's a great opportunity to kind of see the museum in reverse. You know, usually you head in the front door. This is, you head in the annex, and we start in the annex right away. You can see it there with the cider and with Sweetwood Barbecue and a salsa bar and a great acoustic guitarist in there. And then the brewery is right there too. And you start right there, and then you head upstairs to the Our People, Our Place exhibit, and we've got the Speakeasy. And so we've got Sweet Hill Distillery is going to be there this year with their moonshine, which is a really fun. They've got an apple pie moonshine and a cherry pie moonshine. And then Jen and Oaks will be up there. She does jazz. And then we've got 2 food vendors up there too. And then you head across the way, and we've got the coffee house. We take Coyote's Corner and turn it into a coffee house. We kind of pipe and drape it and put another acoustic guitarist there. Mike Bills will be there. And we'll have treats from Cakes and Bakes and coffee and tea there in the coffee house. And then if you go downstairs into our performance area, which is usually where most people come in the museum, it's a more traditional wine gala experience. And we'll have 7 different wineries there, along with a bunch of food. This year we've got...
the lineup is incredible. Visconti's, Cured, of course, Ena's Cuisine, Wenatchee Convention Center, Top Color Catering, Sweetwood Barbecue, India House. What am I missing here?
Oh, yeah, all great. And then we've got the Gilded Lily will be there this year
Okay.
too. They'll be sampling chocolates. Yeah, I know. And the Convention Center is bringing like 6 different items.
Oh, good.
They've got their chef there, Lester, has really done an incredible job.
Yeah, he's up the quality tenfold
really
there.
He really has. So he and Kyle will be there, and along with some of their crew too.
Have the people who've done this before, and this is not the first time they've done Night at the
No.
Museum, is everything about where it has been layout-wise as years past, or do you move things around?
Layout-wise, it's about the same.
Okay.
But like I said, we do have some different vendors this year, which makes it a little bit different experience. And then we also have a nice auction. So I know everybody in town has an auction, but we try really hard to do more experiential things as opposed to stuff. But we do get some lovely items donated, but our board donates experiential items. So this year we have an adult birthday party in our makerspace where you can do a stained glass project. We've got a getaway to Walla Walla. We've got some nice different things.
Silent auction? You just
silent
bid?
auction.
Okay.
Yep, silent auction only. And then the past 2 years we're repeating our bar cart, which is always a really nice thing.
Explain the bar cart.
Bar cart is a lovely cart that's been fully assembled and it's on wheels and ready to rock and roll, and it'll come with probably half dozen bottles of wine.
I was going to say, is
several
it
nice.
stocked?
It is stocked,
Okay,
and
okay.
some really nice, heavy, good quality rocks glasses, and some nice treats.
Yeah, I'm loving that. Gee, how much does this cost? I'm guessing $100. $100 at least.
No, it's $50 for members and $60 for non-members.
You're going to get $60 worth of entertainment out of that.
Easily. So every guest who comes in the door will get 12 tokens or 12 tickets for samples, and then 1 token for a full pour. So it's about 3 drinks in 3 hours.
Now, if you find a vintage from any of the wineries or the beverage vendors that you like, can you buy a bottle or two
Definitely.
there?
You definitely can, and we are a not-for-profit fundraising event, and so there's no liquor tax on any of that.
Ooh.
And
I'm trying to
no
find
sales
anything
tax.
negative about this, and I'm striking out here.
Yeah, and the wineries and the vintners are all very generous with us, and they let us keep the margin. So the museum makes money on the bottle sales too.
It's from 6 to 9 o'clock. If you show up at 8, are you still going to be able to get everything in okay? Or
no, I would not.
food-wise and
I would not
drink-wise?
show up at 8.
Okay.
7 is about the 7:30.
If you want to enjoy everything.
If you want to enjoy everything, because it really is that experience of going from room to room and exploring along the way. There's so much to see in the museum, and it never fails. Somebody during the course of the evening always stops me and says, "I had no idea you had petroglyphs here. I had no idea you had." It's a great opportunity to explore, and the musicians really are lovely, lovely. On our main stage, we'll have the Well Strong, their trio, and they'll
Where's
be
the music
providing-
list here? I had it right here. Oh, yeah, the Well Strong, Mike Bills, Jenna Oakes, Joe, I hope I don't mispronounce your last name, Jimond? And the Rolling Stones will be there as well. This is
that's Dan's contribution.
That's subject to confirmation, I might add. Tickets have to be limited because you got everybody has to figure out how much food to make and how much beverages. So what's the
It's
cutoff?
true. Our
Can't
cutoff is probably at about 300.
And how many have you sold?
We still have a little room.
Okay.
We still have a little room. Wenatchee's such a last minute town.
It is.
It is such a last minute town. I wish that we could get people to.
But you can't walk up to the door and buy tickets. This is
yes.
the key. Okay. Oh, okay.
You could check the website before you come.
Okay.
If it's sold out, we'll let you know.
Okay.
But tickets will be on sale that night.
Okay.
And we'll have lots and lots of people throughout the museum to help guide you from one experience to the next. Everybody will get a chance to meet, if you'd like to meet our new executive director, Kenny Sturgeon, as well as our new development director, Kristen Lodge.
Yeah, who've both been on this program.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm a huge fan of the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center, so whenever Ashley calls me up or emails me, I say, yeah, of course, I'll make room for you. Is this the biggest single fundraiser of the year for you guys?
It is the
It's a big one.
single largest fundraiser for the museum, and the museum is self-funded. We have some grants from each of the 2 cities. The city of Wenatchee and East Wenatchee are both supporters and sponsors of ours, but we run mostly independently through memberships, donations, and programming.
Join the museum. Oh, speaking
Join
of
the
sponsors,
museum.
you got to thank all your sponsors.
Yes,
no
we
sponsors,
do.
no show.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Apple Valley Honda, Cascade Auto Center, Clifton Larson Allen, Crunch Pack, Kathleen McNulty and Steve Wright, and Moss Adams.
And the Rolling Stones.
And the Rolling.
Do we get everything in there? Do we got live music, beer, wine, cider, spirits, food, entertainment?
The key is, if you're not a member, you're missing out. Members were invited. They were part of that list of more than 1,000 people who got that postcard, and membership to the museum is a great value.
Yeah.
I would be remiss if I did not remind you once again that not only at the Explorer level, you can go to more than 1,000 museums.
Yeah, they had that reciprocal deal.
Reciprocal membership.
Can I say reciprocal on the television?
Reciprocal membership, and it'll get you in all over the country, including great spots like the Pacific Science Center and OMSI, and spots around the country and around the world.
While I have you here, what else is on the, once you get through this weekend, which my guess is logistically is a huge challenge for you kids, putting everything together, get everything set up. Then what? What's next on the museum agenda?
The spring break programs for kids.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a big one. And then we move, into Super Summer Adventures. We'll have a historic buildings tour this spring.
Okay.
And then we'll have our annual meeting.
Yeah.
Our annual meeting, which, I think that's one of those other pieces of membership that really makes a difference. Our annual meeting is always a great opportunity to come in and see what's going on at the museum. And our membership includes at least 2 members-only events, openings that are wine and appetizers and all that kind of fun stuff, and those are all included in your membership.
It's funny, I had Rod Mulzon on this program a couple weeks ago, local historian, writes the scripts for people of our past. I had Rod on. And I said, are people who are native to this area, born and raised here like me and others who kind of, this is their home and they're not going anywhere. I said, do they know the history of the Wenatchee Valley? Are they appreciative of the history of the Wenatchee Valley? He goes, it's amazing. He says, it's the newcomers who seem to know more about it than the old timers. And I thought, that's pretty interesting. So go to the museum and learn about where you live.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, but it's true. Another museum, yes, I want tickets. I'm buying tickets right now. We can't forget that. How do they do that, please, Lynn?
Go onto our website, WenatcheeValleyMuseum.org.
And it's all right there?
It's all right there.
So, yeah, $60 a pop. You're going to have a good time.
You really are.
I mean, the Rolling Stones are going to be there. For crying out loud. So, all right, and that's this Saturday night, by the way, from 6 to 9. Thanks for dropping by. We'll see you soon.
Okay.
All right. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
When it comes to real estate, our professional real estate agents come alongside you to help navigate the process of buying or selling a home. At August Edge, we want to free you from the hassles of buying and selling processes and complexities. At August Edge Real Estate, our professional, dedicated brokers will help you with all the complexities of buying and selling real estate, from start to finish. We've got the edge on real estate. August Edge Real Estate.
Attention, attention, Wenatchee Valley. Collins BOGO sale is here. Yahoo! It's our annual buy one red tag sale clothing item and get one free. That's right, buy one, get one free on all our red tag clothing items. We have vests, sweaters, jackets, tees, blouses, dresses, leggings, slacks, jeans, pajamas, etc., etc. Wonderful quality at fantastic prices. Come in and see our new spring goodies too. All at Collins BOGO sale, where fun meets fashion in downtown Wenatchee.
This is the NCW Life Community Calendar brought to you by Health Alliance Northwest. This Saturday and Sunday is prom dress giveaway in the Old Hastings Building. Women's Service League of NCW will be giving away dresses, shoes, accessories, and more. Night at the museum is this Saturday at 6. Explore the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center while enjoying gourmet foods and drinks while listening to live music. For more information and other community events, visit ncwlife.com.
When you think of Doghouse Motorsports, you might think of motorcycles, but there's a lot more in this house. How about Honda power equipment? From snowblowers to lawnmowers to generators and even water pumps, Honda is the brand that sets the standards. Perhaps you need an ATV or UTV. The Doghouse has the largest selection anywhere. Did we mention watercraft and snowmobiles? And of course, we have motorcycles too. Back it up with terrific customer service and you have Wenatchee's best motorsports store 5 years running. Isn't it time for you to be in the Doghouse?
And we are back live here from Studio 1 in downtown Wenatchee. I'm Dan Kuntz on this Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We're going to take one more look at that beautiful weather forecast, at least for the rest of this work week, in just a couple minutes. But since we have the time, we thought we'd go through your Tuesday morning news one more time. And Brian C. Huber has been chosen by Governor Jay Inslee to replace retiring Douglas County Superior Court Judge John Hotchkiss. Huber has been practicing law for more than 2 decades, currently a partner at Jeffers, Danielson, Son, and Elward in Wenatchee. He focuses on issues from agricultural law, civil litigation, employment law, real estate law, tribal law, in addition to his civil litigation practice. Huber also serves as a court-appointed arbiter in civil disputes. He's a longtime resident of East Wenatchee. Huber has been involved in the area's Appalachia Writers Association, a nonprofit equestrian center that supports 4-H clubs, high school equestrian teams, and other horse-related activities. Judge Hotchkiss retires on March 31st. Well, Sunday and Monday were bump stock buyback days at the Wenatchee headquarters of the Washington State Patrol for $150. People could bring in their bump stocks. They're devices that are used to make semi-automatic rifles fire more rapidly. As of March 26th, they will be illegal throughout the United States. Trooper John Bryant of the Washington State Patrol told our very own Cal Fitzsimmons that business hasn't exactly been brisk.
Trooper Bryant, how has this been going so far here?
Well, yesterday was the first day statewide. Here in Wenatchee, we collected 10. Today, this morning, we've collected 5 so far, so we got a total of 15. Today is the second day from 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock this afternoon here in Wenatchee. Next week, it'll be in Ellensburg, kind of spreading out the place where folks can go within the district. Again, it'll be Sunday 10 to 4 and then Monday 10 to 4. But any Washington resident can turn it in anywhere at any of the State Patrol authorized places statewide for today and next weekend.
And have there been fewer people than you expected? How many vouchers did you have available here?
I'm not quite sure the number of vouchers that we had available here, but it's kind of hard to tell the number of folks you're going to get. I think the numbers are probably kind of what they should be for here. Now, I know in other parts of the state, for example, in Tacoma area, they went through their vouchers really quick, and so they're probably going to get some of our vouchers that we don't use here because there's just a lot more people turning them in Tacoma. And it's $150,000 is the entire money put aside for it, and once that's burnt through, it's done. Based on numbers I heard yesterday, 180, 185, and multiply that by 150. They were close to at the 1/3 point of the money yesterday. So we'll see what happens today and how much will be left over for the next weekend.
Okay, well, thank you for your time, Trooper Bryant, and this is Cal Fitzsimmons for NCW Life.
Thank you very much, Cal. A road rage incident on Highway 2 near Cashmere landed 25-year-old Tucker Mathewson of Bellingham in jail last week. Mathewson is accused of pointing a gun at 2 women in another vehicle. Once again, here's Trooper John Bryant of the Washington State Patrol, who says it's unclear what led to the incident.
Last Thursday, about 4:30 in the afternoon, State Patrol dispatch got a report of an individual driving a blue Kia Rio eastbound on State Route 2 near Kotlitz Avenue. The reporting party stated that the driver of the vehicle brandished a weapon and pointed it at them. Troopers went en route the area and they did stop the vehicle about 9 minutes later and talked to the driver of the vehicle and did find a loaded weapon, a handgun, in the vehicle. The driver of the vehicle was taken into custody and booked at the county jail for brandishing a weapon. This all occurred without incident. Everything turned out to be safe, but it's just one of those things that road rage incident that maybe just went too far.
Mathewson was charged with second-degree assault. And finally this morning, a Navy fighter jet had to make an emergency landing at the Grant County International Airport in Moses Lake last week after one of its crew members suffered hypoxia. That's a lack of oxygen. Port Facilities Director Rich Mueller said the airplane is still at the airport.
The crew did report in. It sounds like there were problems with the oxygen system, but I was actually looking out my window when they pulled in, and they got out of the plane just fine by themselves as they normally would, and were smiling and talking to the ambulance crew that met them there as a precaution. They were taken into the ambulance to be tested just to make sure they were okay. And they came out, again, all smiles and buttoned up the airplane and went about their business. So fortunately, nobody sick or hurt. It's not quite as exciting, but we love it when an airplane just rolls in and taxis in and people get out and everybody's okay and everybody's happy.
Good news there. It's about 55 minutes after the hour. We're going to take one more break, and when we come back, a weather forecast I think you're going to like on this, the last day of winter. That's coming up. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live from Studio 3 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Live channel.
Join us for Street Talk and Other Stuff with Mike Magnotti on the NCW Life channel. This former police sergeant is plugged into not only the world of the streets, he's an actor and connoisseur of the arts. So join Mike and his guest for, well, street talk and other stuff. Mondays at 10 a.m., Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 p.m., and Wednesdays at 5:30. It's Street Talk and Other Stuff with Mike McNaughty on the NCW Life Channel.
No matter what the season is, the weather is always fine at Wenatchee Valley Mall. Come explore the stores today. Wenatchee Valley Mall in East Wenatchee and online at WenatcheeValleyMall.com.
Walkabout Grill, open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner in downtown Wenatchee and now downtown Leavenworth, where eating out is eating healthy.
Here at the YWCA Thrift Store, our mission is to make positive change in the community by giving women and families the tools they need to regain economic stability through work experience and education. Featuring generously donated new and gently used furniture, housewares, clothing, and much more, the YWCA Thrift Store has something for the whole family. Shop, volunteer, or donate with us today.
We're back. About 3 minutes left on this program. You know, some television stations, they just talk about the weather. Here at the NCW Life Channel, we really talk about the weather. Let's take a look at your forecast from the National Weather Service. And while you soak up those beautiful graphics, a couple of things to think about. This is the last full day of winter. The spring equinox is at 2:58 tomorrow afternoon. And as I mentioned at the top of the show, the streak is over after 47 consecutive days with our daily high temperature below normal. Yesterday's high of 57 degrees was actually 2 degrees above normal. And the last time we hit 57 degrees was back on November 6th, which was 131 days ago. Yeah, it was a tale of two winters. It was abnormally warm and mild with record-setting highs in December and January, and then here came February, right as the calendar turned, and Old Man Winter paid us a significant visit and wouldn't let go. Well, finally letting go. There's a big high pressure ridge, a big dome of high pressure. It's actually centered over central British Columbia, but it's pretty big and it's pretty strong and it's keeping all the weather systems away from us. That's why we see the sunshine at 57 today and 58 on Wednesday, Thursday, 60 degrees. It's going to start breaking down, this high pressure ridge, on Friday. And so now we talk about clouding up and maybe even a little bit of rain. The last thing we need right now is rain, because we want this snow to melt, but we don't want it to melt real quickly. Then you start talking about flooding. We don't want that. Right now, the long-term forecast for flooding in the north central Washington area is good. They don't really expect any significant flooding at all. We'd like to hear that. But we could get a little bit of rain on Friday night into Saturday morning, and wouldn't you know it, just in time for the weekend, it's going to cloud up and cool down, but no complaints there. That's looking really good. I got one more item of business to get to before we call it a Tuesday, and that's avalanche control work on Stevens Pass. If you plan on traveling Stevens Pass, you might want to go now, or you just want to avoid the summit at 2 o'clock, because at 2 o'clock this afternoon, right at the summit, there's that 6-mile stretch of highway on US 2, right at the summit of Stevens Pass. They're going to shut it down, and they're going to do some avalanche control work. And it's always a hit and miss. It's a guessing game because they throw the explosives, of course, into the mountain. The snow loosens up. The snow comes down onto the highway. They clear it out, and they open it up again. The question is how much snow comes down. They don't know until they do it. Could be as little as a half an hour. It could be upwards of an hour or more. So once again, avalanche control work is planned for US 2 Stevens Pass beginning at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Everybody, thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great Tuesday. Bye-bye.